Her red nose secured, oversized shoes, and a bag of tricks in hand. Gracie the Clown, or Nancy Griner, is ready to conduct some funny business.
Did I ever think I'd grow up to be a clown doctor? No. But it's funny how the path that life takes you.
Nancy has been following her path of clowning for 17 years now.
I started working at children's hospitals back east in Boston and Providence and in Connecticut. I've worked in Chicago, and now I'm looking to do that same work here in West Michigan.
Through her business, the Funny Bone Foundation, Nancy has been working in West Michigan senior living facilities for about 4 years.
I truly believe that laughter is the best medicine.
She just goes right in and starts singing and like greeting them, and they love that like twist on their daily activity.
But Nancy's work isn't always telling a funny joke or doing a silly dance.
You were just holding their hand, just listening to them. A lot of them are alone. They don't get visitors on a regular basis. Some don't get visitors at all. So if I can just come in and just be genuine, they can tell if you really care. And I really care. It makes me happy to make them happy.
Sometimes it's just like it takes you back. They're just so meaningful to see like some of their eyes open up and they get a smile on their face. And then we've had some other ones who live in our memory care who have had Parkinson's, and they don't really interact well with other activities either, but as soon as she starts playing a song, like they can move and they just get smiles on their faces and they love it.
A true gift, the ability to connect, something Nancy credits to her training and natural instincts.
There is a little bit of innate that you have a sensitivity, and I feel blessed that I do. I walk into a room and right away, and I think it's because I really just look for who the person is. My mission is to make that person happy.
Nancy visits dozens of seniors on each visit.
May I come in?
And while Nancy says each relationship is unique, one in particular stands out.
Minetta loves her.
Minetta and Nancy met about 2 years ago. They connected over the loss of Minetta's husband, Barry, and she says that stuck with her.
Oh, Barry, the movable bear, he's awesome. That's what I commend about you, is that you are really trying to improve people's lives and spirits, and that's helpful and commendable.
Each time I come in and they hold my hand and they say thank you. It's a gift.
Wow.
And I'm so fortunate that I get to do that all the time.
Yeah.
And that I get all these little gifts throughout my life. And I just want to continue this work because I believe that humor does make a difference. Connecting with people does make a difference in a genuine way. And what better place than to do it here in West Michigan?
Well, Nancy tells me, similar to how the elderly have no control over living in homes, children in children's hospitals don't have much control over that either. So her goal is to eventually start working in those hospitals right here in West Michigan. Yeah. So hopefully she can find that next opportunity. And of course, you guys can learn more about Nancy on our website, fox17online.com.
Just to see that instant gratification in their faces has to be, remarkable. So thanks, Savannah.
Yeah. Well, in less than half an hour, Fox 17 is teaming up with Versity Blood Center of Michigan for a special blood drive.
That is all happening at 11:30 this morning at Frederick Meyer Gardens. It runs through 7 tonight, and anyone who donates will get a general admission ticket to the Gardens, along with a buy one, get one coupon for select Grand Rapids Griffins games while supplies last. You can make an appointment on Versity's website, but we also have a link on our news app.
All right, well, the time now is actually 11:11. We have a lot more coming up on Fox 17 Midday.
Well, President Trump is blasting House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's home district in California out of frustration for how she's running the impeachment inquiry. Why he says Nancy Pelosi should now focus more on homelessness.
Rookie officers at one police station is mixing Christmas carols with tasers. Why this is part of their training coming up.
Savannah made it into the 60s yesterday. We won't today and we won't tomorrow, but to take a look at this weather map, some yellow colors shooting right back up towards Michigan by Sunday. Could we hit 60? Stay tuned. Forecast after the break. Take a look at your forecast, everybody. We're continuing on with cloudy skies right now. That seems like, by looking at some of these tower cams and just images, that maybe there's a little bit of a brightening of the skies to some degree, but maybe not, because I just looked outside the back door here at Fox 17, and it is just an overcast as we get beyond around 2, 3 o'clock, say 4 o'clock. A few breaks for sunshine may try to materialize, not holding our breaths on that, I should say, as we go forward. No precipitation, no rain, no snow expected here for today nor tomorrow. Take a look. 38 degrees at noon. We're just holding steady. I talked about that in the morning show a few hours ago. We're really not going anywhere with these temperatures. 38 right now. Maybe we get back to 39, but that'll be it. And then starting to drop off this evening. I do think there will be a breaking up of the clouds right around sundown, unfortunately. Though if that does happen a couple hours earlier, we'll manage to get some rays of sunshine in there. So we'll see about that. The coldest of the air, as I've been talking about recently, in extreme northwestern Canada and into Alaska. But really, if you take a look at the whole around Canada, this is not really that cold for this time of year. So we'll see if some of the colder air on the other side of the globe starts to rearrange itself into Canada and then allow for the train tracks to open up such that some of that can get down here a couple weeks down the line. But it wouldn't be until then, as the next 7 to 10 days look to be just seasonably cool at worst, with some occasional fluctuations to above normal temperatures and perhaps well above normal. We've got a shot to get well into the 50s to around 60 degrees, I think, by Sunday afternoon. Temps pretty much for everybody around West Michigan in the upper 30s. This west breeze, you can feel that stepping outside, so it is adding and putting the wind chills in the upper 20s to near 30. But this is pretty much where we were just several hours ago, and we were talking about, the weather forecast during the morning show. We'll look for some rain to arrive late tomorrow night into Sunday morning. Most of Saturday is going to be completely dry. In fact, there will be some level of sunshine in the morning. Clouds will increase in the afternoon. A wet phase there Sunday morning. The afternoon will still be wet with some drizzle around, but another slug of rainfall comes back Sunday evening into very early Monday. Then we get another lull on Monday until latter afternoon and evening. I think we switch over to some snow showers. That'll go into Tuesday, and we're still looking out for the potential for some light accumulations at that time. Look at the model on Sunday, getting us to around 60 degrees. Live radar doesn't have much going on. I'm looking around the Midwest, and I got high pressure building in, but a lot of low-level moisture underneath it, and therefore we've got the low clouds around. There is a system, though, over Arizona, and that'll be the one that will be starting to break out all this moisture out over the nation's midsection, and we see this rain come in after around 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow evening. That'll be around Sunday morning, and then look, there's like a regeneration of some activity with a secondary little impulse coming up later Sunday into Monday. On the backside, as some colder air comes in, we'll be spiraling around some moisture as this system pinwheels near Lake Superior, and there will likely be some light accumulations overnight Monday into Tuesday. Still got some time to keep an eye on that. I don't think a major snowstorm for us. And even behind this weather disturbance, we're looking for some milder air to come back later next week. Rain amounts will be significant. Here's a 1 snowfall estimate with a couple inches possible there. We'll keep tabs on it, and we'll talk more in the next weather update here in about a half hour. Temperatures go cooler early next week, but then rebounding near 40 just after the new year.
All right, well, the Senate schedule is open in January for what was expected to be an impeachment trial, but the House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, is holding articles of impeachment until Democrats get the witnesses they want to testify.
Well, now both parties are trying to spin what they think this impasse will ultimately help their success in 2020. Ray Bogan reports.
They say all politics is local, and President Trump followed that mantra Thursday with personal attacks against House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and her home district. President Trump hit hard at House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and her home state of California in a series of tweets Thursday. He wrote, "Nancy Pelosi's district in California has rapidly become one of the worst anywhere in the U.S. when it comes to the homeless and crime. It has gotten so bad so fast, she has lost total control." The Speaker is holding articles of impeachment from the Senate in hopes of getting what she sees as a fair trial. That includes testimony from Acting Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney and former National Security Advisor John Bolton.
She's currently holding a live grenade. They have pulled the pin out in impeachment. She's got it in her hand, and she frankly doesn't know what to do with it.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer tried to negotiate with President Trump through Twitter. He wrote, President Trump, if you are so confident that you did nothing wrong, then why don't you release the emails and let the witnesses testify under oath?
The president has said he would like to have those closest to him testify. If he's telling the truth, all Senator McConnell has to do to move forward on this is agree to that.
Before the trial begins, all senators will take an oath to administer, quote, impartial justice. But many politicians are accusing each other of having already made up their minds. One Wall Street Journal columnist says all members of the Senate will have a bias, either for or against the president.
The job of being objective lies with Chief Justice Roberts, who will be overseeing this Senate trial. Mitch McConnell is a Republican leader in the Senate, and I expect him to act like it.
Polls show public opinion has flipped on impeachment. The Real Clear Politics average shows more Americans are against impeachment than support it. In Washington, Ray Bogan, Fox News.
Well, new medicine is available now to fight migraines. The Food and Drug Administration recently approved these Unrevly pills, potentially helping some 37 million Americans who suffer from migraines. The oral medication was proven to help symptoms within 2 hours, even after they started. It was created for people who didn't respond to common migraine treatments or are at risk of heart disorders. It's expected to hit U.S. shelves early next year. The company reported the most common side effect was nausea, which occurred in less than 5% of users.
Well, Raquel Foods is voluntarily recalling 2 of its products with egg products over listeria concerns. Yesterday, the company announced it's pulling 2 of its popular snack packs containing hard-boiled eggs, one with granny apples, cheddar, cashew, and craisin, the other with gala apples, white cheddar, almond, and craisin. This is just days after Great American Deli recalled certain egg salad sandwiches on Tuesday, which were sold in more than 20 states. Both companies use Allmark Foods as its supplier. So far, there have been no confirmed listeria reports stemming from the products. And this is one way to go Christmas caroling, especially if you're a rookie learning about tasers.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride. Oh!
All right, some rookies with an Arkansas Police Department, they tased each other while singing songs of the season like Jingle Bells and We Wish You a Merry Christmas, all part of their training in order to be armed with tasers. Many law enforcement officers must have the weapon tested on them before they can actually use it. It's a painful practice, obviously, meant to give them insight into what tasers do to people and suspects. It goes without saying, don't try this at home.
That is for sure. All right. Well, a lot more coming on Fox 17 Midday.
Well, we're just days away from a new year. We'll have a look at what's in store from Fox 17's New Year's Eve with Steve Harvey.
The party plans are underway for Fox's biggest New Year's Eve celebration.
Yeah, so for a look at what's coming to the countdown to 2020, here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Oh man, it is pouring rain right now.
Ring in 2020 on Fox's New Year's Eve with Steve Harvey live from Times Square. Maria Menounos returns as co-host, and many stars are joining in the celebration.
One of my top 7 people will be on the show this year in Times Square with me, and that is Rob Gronkowski, because I'm a huge New England Patriots fan. Nice. And so we will for sure get into some mischief. And then Roman Reigns from the WWE. Gordon Ramsay. We also have performances from Tyga, the Lumineers, Chainsmokers.
Florida Georgia Line is also performing. The show goes big, from entertainment to special moments.
Kevin and Maria.
During its first year, Maria married her longtime beau, Kevin, with Harvey officiating.
We were together for so many years. I think at that point, like 19 years. And we surprised my parents live on the show, and it's so funny. I look back at how cold it was. I look back at the fact that he's wearing an overcoat and earmuffs, and I'm freezing in my dress for the pictures, and I'm like, honey, really? Yes. You couldn't have taken that stuff off.
Menounos makes New Year's resolutions every year and says she already has one for 2020.
It's big and bold in 2020. Not being afraid to, even the little things like going up and saying hi to somebody, like, oh, I don't want to bother them. I say things like that, and now I'm like, nope, going up.
Join Maria and Steve on New Year's Eve right here on Fox. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can't believe it's that time of year already.
I know. We'll have to tune in. All right, well, coming up in our next half hour here on Fox 17 News Midday.
There's a Christmas miracle at one zoo in Michigan where you'll soon be able to meet this baby black rhino.
The new age to buy tobacco in the U.S. is 21. How the changes ignited a debate over public health and personal freedom. Coming up.
You're watching Fox 17 Midday with Nicole DiDonato, Alyssa Herron, Ty Shesky, and Rob Westoby.
All right, well, thank you so much. Sorry for sticking with us with this midday. Yeah, big temperatures we were talking about yesterday, unbelievable temperatures. It felt like spring.
I know, it was so nice. I was driving, I had my windows down, the sun was on my face.
Back to reality today, though.
Yeah,
Anthony Dowell is in for Ty Shefsky. We're checking in with him once again.
Hey, Nicole, where's all the snow, though? We've got bare ground around West Michigan. Could perhaps we lay down some snow a few days down the line? That's a possibility later Monday into Tuesday. I'll have more on that coming up, but certainly no way, no how is it going to happen before then, because temperatures will be staying above the freezing mark and may in fact get close to 60 degrees one more time by Sunday afternoon. We'll detail that in just a bit. Grand Rapids right now, 38 degrees. Yes, a little bit more of a taste of reality today, but still well above normal. The average high for this time of year is 32, and this is about as cool as we've been in the overnight. I mentioned that in the morning show that we really wouldn't be moving a whole lot on the thermometer today. That's because some cooler air has been working in from the west and northwest and kind of offsetting the daily warming process. So I don't even think we're going to get back to 40 at this point. Maybe we max out at 39 this afternoon. West winds near 15 miles per hour, even with an uptick to around 20 or so with the gusts. So the wind chills are in the upper 20s to near 30, and feeling all of that because of how warm it was the last several days. Live radar here around Michigan. We're not detecting anything, and we'll keep it dry. That's a guarantee through tonight and the majority of tomorrow, but later tomorrow night into Sunday, that's when our next wave of moisture comes in. And this system spiraling around over Arizona, soon to be into New Mexico, will be the reason why. I will have everything to talk about here in just a few minutes. I've got rain, I've got some snow, I've got some cooler temps, and even some warmer temps down the line towards the end of the 7-day. Once again, stay tuned. Full forecast. It's coming up.
The recently passed spending bill did more than just allocate money. It also changes federal regulations.
And among those changes, the age to purchase cigarettes and e-cigarettes has risen from 18 to 21. Fox News correspondent William Lajeunesse has a closer look.
The tobacco industry is counting on you doing it so that they can get you addicted. And I don't think at 18 you necessarily think that through.
A victory for public health, a blow to personal freedom.
There's multiple other things you could do at that age. So I mean, like, why not smoke? Is your body, is your choice.
If they're going to keep doing this, then they need to raise the age for going to war too.
18-year-olds can vote, get married, purchase a rifle, or join the military. But under a bill signed last week, they cannot buy tobacco.
We're getting some stories that we don't want to hear. And we may very well have to do something very, very strong about it.
President Trump initially favored banning all flavored e-cigarettes, but after pressure from the tobacco lobby, he agreed to raise the minimum age to buy any tobacco product.
We put a 21 limit on because everyone seems to agree on that, right?
Trump said he worried a ban could drive companies out of business and e-cigarettes underground.
If you don't give it to them, it's going to come here illegally. They're going to be selling stuff on a street corner that could be horrible.
About 23% of high school students vape, according to a University of Michigan study. Advocates say raising the age to 21 will save lives and money, but they also want the FDA to regulate e-cigarettes, which it currently doesn't.
We just need stronger regulation and just more information about what are in all these products so that people can make informed choices.
That's another challenge, choice and enforcement.
The big problem right now is that in California, we have restricted these sales, but we still see that youth are able to get tobacco products.
So the good news is cigarette, alcohol, even prescription drug use among teens is down. What isn't is teen vaping, most of whom don't know that a single pod carries as much nicotine as 20 cigarettes. In Los Angeles, William Lajeunesse, Fox News.
Well, as the holidays come to an end, you may start to feel depressed, but don't worry. Health experts say it's natural. They're called the post-holiday blues. It comes as a sense of being let down after the holiday hustle and bustle. The post-holiday blues usually happens because the holiday season can be a really active and engaging time for us. And once that's over, we have less work to do and have less to look forward to as well. But psychologists at Ohio State University say it's normal to feel this way.
Part of this is just the natural phenomenon of being human. So we get this wonderful season, if we're lucky, right, where we're engaged and we're active and we're getting to, see the people we care about, and there's so much reinforcement that it really is very natural to have a little bit of a sense of letdown.
Experts suggest you plan activities after the holidays to keep yourself busy.
Well, in other news, a man had to be rescued from the water after falling in while ice fishing. This all happened near Long Lake Drive in Solon Township. Police say someone saw him holding onto the ice after falling in and called 911. He was in the water for about 20 minutes before firefighters got to him. We're told he is expected to be okay. And there's been a spike in fraudulent calls targeting businesses in West Michigan.
That's right. Atra El-Nashar shows us the major red flag you should be on the lookout for.
We've seen within the last few months there have been more of these.
A caller on the other end of the line claiming to be with Consumers Energy, saying you owe them money, and if you don't pay right now, your power will be shut off. The biggest giveaway that the call isn't legitimate is by how they want you to pay.
Usually they want you to pay by prepaid gift card or by wire transfer. And we really want businesses to know that is not how it works.
The Better Business Bureau is teaming up with Consumers Energy to get the word out about the fake claims.
Consumers Energy is never going to call you and tell you your power's about to be shut off. Take a step back, do your homework. Go find your Consumers Energy bill. Right then and there will tell you if you owe them any money or not, and if you paid the bill. But call the phone number that's on your bill.
Baker says the person on the other end of the line will play to your emotions to try and get you to pay up.
Never fall for that high pressure. That's really what the scammers are counting on, is that high pressure, getting you scared that something bad's going to happen. We know that informed consumers are the best way to stay safe and prevent getting scammed.
Atra El-Nashar, Fox 17 News.
Well, a few ice rinks across West Michigan have closed down due to the warmer weather. The one at Millennium Park in Portage closed this week because of the unseasonably warm temperatures we're having. And they're not alone. The one in Rosa Park Circle in Grand Rapids also shut down early. To see when they're open again, though, you can have their updated hours on their Facebook pages.
Potter Park Zoo in Lansing experienced something of a Christmas miracle this week. Critically endangered black rhino calf born on Christmas Eve. It's the first time in the zoo's 100-year history a black rhino has been born there. Very exciting news for the zoo and the species as a whole because, again, it is critically endangered. Zoo says the calf appears healthy, but he doesn't have a name yet, and he won't be on public display until the spring. But until then, you can keep up with the little guy on the zoo's Facebook and Instagram pages.
He is so cute.
Without little horn yet, you know. Yeah. Well, some companies are helping employees pay off college loans.
Yeah, Alicia Neves explains how it's benefiting the companies as well.
My undergrad is in marketing. I also got my master's, just a general MBA as well. I graduated with $110,000 in student debt. It's startling.
31-year-old Eliza Badeau left college paying as much towards student loans each month as rent in Boston.
Making those payments was insane.
But a few years after working at Fidelity Investments, the company announced it was rolling out a new workplace perk: student loan repayment assistance.
Oh my gosh, it was overwhelming in a positive way. They asked if I would help pilot it, and I said absolutely. Why am I not going to do that, right?
No strings attached, Fidelity was now paying nearly 20% of her roughly $1,000 a month student loan bill.
In the beginning, it was something for me where I didn't see a future in buying a home. I didn't see a future in starting a family because I couldn't even fathom, getting married, paying for a wedding, or having children while battling this debt. So now it's something where that is an option for me.
A growing number of companies are offering similar help, in part because these employers are seeing it's actually benefiting them too.
And what we've seen is that it's actually contributing to a reduction in turnover of over 70%.
Asha Srikantaya heads up the Fidelity Student Loan Debt Program. It's been so successful internally at increasing employee loyalty and productivity that the company has taken it external.
I have an entire sort of benefits business around helping people all across the country with standing up employer-sponsored benefits for student debt.
Fidelity has helped almost 100 other companies roll out some form of student loan assistance program. About 8% of companies across the country are now offering this new benefit. Over the next 5 years, that's expected to grow to 20%. And eventually, student loan repayment assistance could be as common of a workplace perk as 401ks.
I think there will be no choice. Just seeing the wave of the generations coming in burdened by the student debt, saving for retirement is a great benefit, but right up in there is dealing with your current debt.
All right, well, the time now is 11:39. Coming up next here on Fox 17 News Midday.
Well, a warning for engaged couples making plans for their big day. How to protect yourself from wedding vendors so you don't waste your money.
Got a wet system that's going to be arriving over the weekend. We'll give you the timetable on that. We'll see if any of this water that shows up on this graphic can turn over to some snow showers and maybe accumulate early next week. Forecast after the break. Alrighty, getting down to it, everybody. Approaching 11:43, just turned over there, and well, we need to turn over these sky conditions because they're gray once again. We did really benefit yesterday, though, with all that sunshine. Got to 61. You know you're not going to do that 2 days in a row around here this time of year, and we're not. We've gotten cooler. It's the upper 30s, and we're not going to be going anywhere with these temperatures today. 38 at last check. I think we just hold around 38 or 39 through 3, 4 o'clock. Lots of clouds in the short term. Folks, it's possible we may just remain mostly cloudy here all the way towards sundown, but I do think that the odds for a few breaks for sun, or at least a brightening of the skies to some degree, does begin to materialize, and the odds go up. The odds increase that we would get a little sun after around 3 o'clock. Short window there because the sun goes down just after 5 o'clock. These days are really short, but they are getting slowly but surely longer now, so that's something that we can kind of feel good about. Very cold air off into northwestern Canada, but you'll notice that the vast lot of Canada is not that cold. Yes, it's cold, but it's not that cold, meaning that we don't have all below zero temps, and it's not very far south with the extremely cold air. So that means that we don't have anything brewing, nothing knocking on the door that's going to come plowing into West Michigan and really start to make us feel like it's bone chilling and the middle of winter around here. We're going to continue on with a slightly above normal temperature pattern. Of course, we've been well above normal recently, but I think the overall theme for the next 7 to 10 days is still above normal by just a bit. Feels like temperatures running near 30 degrees. Those are the wind chills, of course. Now, what about any rain or snow? We haven't had any snow on the ground in quite some time. We won't through Saturday and Sunday. In fact, Sunday is going to be a really wet day around here with a few rounds of rainfall. As we go later Monday into Tuesday, though, the backside of this system likely will produce some snow showers for us, and some of those could stick. More on that to come. Look at this temperature pattern, though, by Sunday afternoon as this system moves out to our west. Southerly winds being indicated by those streamlines behind the temperatures, and wow, it's going to be sending us back to similar levels that we got to yesterday, except this time around it will be wet. High pressure not too far away, but a lot of low-level moisture underneath that high means that we've got these low clouds that are tough to get rid of. Again, a break or two for sun late day possible. Weather system out over Arizona, moving into New Mexico. That's the one that will be turning us very, very wet by early on Sunday. Area of high pressure. Again, it's a dirty high. It's got all these clouds underneath it, but maybe a break for sun late day. Here comes this wound up weather system moving from Iowa into Minnesota. It starts to occlude or lose its warm air advection processes, meaning that the air is no longer being transported from the south to the north, and we actually start to get some cooler air come in eventually. And can that meet up with some moisture on the backside of the system later Monday into Tuesday and produce some accumulations of snow? That's a possibility, folks. Stay tuned on that. There could be a few inches nearby of some slop with marginal temperatures. Behind that, though, it looks like it goes milder once again. Rain amounts will be significant, over an inch Sunday into Monday. There's the snow amounts. Again, nothing set in stone here. Models waffling, but there could be some sloppy slushiness there early Tuesday. Even if it does, though, look at this. We're jumping back to near 40 right after the new year.